Good morning everyone. In this video I'm going to analyze EU and DXY to see what trading opportunities we have today. The purpose of this video is to give you insight into price action analysis for day trading. So this video will be aimed at those who are generally interested in analysis or want to learn more and improve. So let's get started. We're on the daily chart for EU. And on the daily chart, the story so far is, you can see after we swept these previous lows, price reacted bullish to a point where we filled this daily fair value gap here. So if I zoom in just slightly, you can see that for the last 1-2 days, price has been held by this fair value gap. So we've not been able to close beyond it, which is possibly a sign that we're going to continue bearish from here, because you can see we've decelerated. However, you can also see that price had a massive bearish wick, so it pulled down and still managed to close up bullish, but we'll see that on the lower time frames. So let's go into the 4 hour. We are still within our bearish leg for the premium discount. We've remained within this discount. Obviously we've pulled back after this sell side liquidity was swept, and we're just being held around this 4 hour order block and daily fair value gap. So price has pulled back, showed some intention to go towards these POIs up here or the premium. And about yesterday again, we had this massive bearish move over those 4 hours here, but we also reacted by coming back bullish afterwards, but remained within this candle. Okay, so we still do look bearish on the 4 hour. Our structure is still bearish, right, with our lower low, but we have pulled back to a higher time frame POI and swept liquidity at the top here. So we're going to see if we're going to continue lower, or we have these buy side liquidity POIs that may draw price bullish still. So down to the 1 hour, a bit more the opposite, a bit more mixed in comparison to the 4 hour. We've obviously broken these internal highs. We have this leg from this low here to this high here, but yesterday we made a new potential leg there, right? And price has pulled back to the potential premium of this leg. The reason why I've got this leg drawn out, even though I think this is the larger internal leg here, is because now that we've pulled back and we're in this 1 hour order block still, if price fails to make the higher high here, this is a potential weak low. So this will become the leg that we're working within. So I've just noted it, say potential weak low here if this high here holds. So today you can see we've pulled back to this 1 hour fair value gap. It gave a little bullish move, sweeping the internal highs here, but price has failed to make that higher high so far. So it's possible that we're going to continue bearish from here, and the 1 hour chart is also indicating that. Obviously we'll have some traffic here with these order blocks and remaining fair value gap, but we are painting a bearish picture. So I'll go down to the 15-minute to analyze further. We still have our SMC divergence intact at the top here. So on the 15-minute, you can see how we've gone above Asia and Frankfurt and London Open, swept these previous highs here. So we've swept internal buy side liquidity, and we are breaking down, but I do want to see this low go. I'd rather see a 15-minute structure break to make it look like we're going to have those continuations short, because we do still have 1 hour fair value gap above remaining and the 4 hour fair value gap. And as I said, price failed to go out and take this low, so the higher time frame hasn't created a lower low yet, and we're still in the discount, so we may still go further up into the premium. But it does look good. We swept the internal liquidities here and broke down. We've pulled back to a premium of this leg, and we've swept internal liquidity again and began to break down, but we can't hold those assumptions. On the 5-minute even, don't usually go to the 5-minute, you can see that there's potential here already on the 5-minute. I won't trade this most likely, because even though we've swept liquidity again and broken down on the 5-minute, for me the 5-minute won't have enough bearing on this higher time frame here, because we have this 15-minute order block which is currently holding price and may see a higher high, right? Because we still have a 15-minute high structure going on here. So let's go over to DXY and see if this agrees with EU. So DXY on the daily, similar picture to EU. However, when we made this bullish break, of course we swept this buy side liquidity, came into a POI and a weekly fair value gap POI as well. We reacted bearish from there and then partially mitigated this daily fair value gap. Yesterday that momentum closed out bullish still, but the wick, it was with a long legged wick, right? Obviously price tried to reach higher to continue that momentum, but ultimately just closed out down here. It doesn't paint a massive picture, but we have this fair value gap that still remains here. So I've got quite a few notes just so I don't forget anything here. And these notes are for the 1 hour, so they'll be much clearer when I go down. We've got still a bullish 4 hour structure. We are again in that premium. We've got our SMC divergence showing a bit of weakness, and we had a bearish pullback, right? So we've taken this buy side liquidity, pulled back bearish, mitigated this daily fair value gap a little bit, where we look to continue bullish possibly. However, price went bullish, spiked up into here, and ultimately still closed within this 4 hour fair value gap, which isn't great for the bullish momentum. Now on the 4 hour, I don't see any immediate valid POIs for me here to continue bullish off of. So the next one would be to get further sell side liquidity from the previous daily lows or the fair value gap, or of course this fair value gap here. So I don't see much going on the 4 hour to continue that bullish momentum, which would, you know, agree with a bearish bias on EU. So that's where it's a bit of a mixed picture so far. We may do just from here, but that's just from what I'm reading. It's not great that, you know, this closed out here and didn't give that bullish momentum to continue and take these highs. So on the 1 hour, it's a bit mixed for me here. We mitigated this 1 hour fair value gap, made a bullish run, pulled back to another 1 hour order block, and then price just went sideways overnight. We are stuck between this fair value gap here, which we've mitigated today and had a little bit of a bearish move from. So price is going sideways between these two POIs, which is not great. And potentially, of course, if this hasn't taken out this high, this low is potentially weak, right? So price may, of course, pull down further for some sell side liquidity or even into the discount. So I have a bit of a mixed picture. I believe that, you know, DXY and EU don't exactly agree, because I think DXY also looks bearish while EU is also painting a bearish picture. So I think if DXY continues obviously with the picture of looking bearish, right, it's just made this lower low. It's not broken this high yet to signal any bullish intention on the 15-minute. We could still continue lower, and that means EU would go up and seek out further buy side liquidity as well into the premium, and this would head towards the discount. Back on EU, you can see here on the M15 we are breaking down. Like I said, the high time frames with DXY have a bit of a mixed picture for me. I think DXY doesn't look great. However, if I do see this breakdown and it leaves me an opportunity to go short, I will go short, because we have swept this liquidity, and overall bias with the trend is bearish, and price would need to be convincing. So I like what I see on EU with the buy side liquidities being swept. We're kind of within this 1 hour leg. This low would be weak if we do break down, and it would give me a bit of confidence to go short without DXY looking good, even though DXY, if this breaks down, should make a higher high also on the M15. So my bias is mixed, favoring bearish if it breaks down. I don't really want to go long into these POIs. So let's see what happens today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like and any comments, and I'll see you again soon.